What is up, my dudes? It is your boy Rick, aka Steve, aka DeQuande, aka the Ethanol Kit Plug. Whichever one of those you want to address me by, I'm doing another little quick tips and tricks video like I did with the downpipes. Today, FenFab oil pan, pretty new product. Not a whole lot of people are running them. I anticipate that's going to be changing soon. So I just wanted to shoot this quick video and show you guys what is up. So if we go down here, I have already got it all in place. It's nice and bolted in. Guys, this pan, very solid, very well made piece. You've got this nice thick flange. You've got these nice clean welds. You've got this nice magnetic drain plug. It extends oil capacity to 8 quarts. I know some people run 8.5. Got this nice laser engraved FenFab logo that I am never going to see after this thing goes back on the ground. But what this does, the sump on these cars, not the sump, but the pickup, it sucks. It's right about here, smack dab in the middle of the engine, which physics 101, when you accelerate, all the weight shifts to the back, and so does the oil. So now you've got the oil going to the back of the engine while the pickup is more towards the front of the engine. That is why these things drop oil pressure so bad when you launch them so hard. This pan extends the oil capacity to 8 quarts, deepens the sump, adds this little step right here, which kind of simulates a back wall of the engine as that oil wants to shift back, and helps keep it right here around the pickup and the internal baffling. It has very nice internal baffling to help keep that oil where it should be. It comes with a nice Viton fluoroelastomer gasket. I believe I said that correctly. It's a nice little strip gasket. There's a channel that's been machined into the flange. You just fit it in there all the way around. You trim the excess off, and you use a very small dab of RTV where the ends butt together. You use a small dab of RTV right here where the timing chain cover and the block meet, and the same thing on the other side. The bolts, I made 3 passes. I used blue Loctite on all of them. First pass, I tightened them in a crisscross applesauce style until I got all 14 of them. Snugged them up with an Allen wrench by hand. Then the second pass, I used a 1/4-inch ratchet. The final pass, I used a torque wrench and set them all to 8 foot-pounds. And then made one more final pass again after that with the torque wrench, just to make sure they were all still at 8 foot-pounds. Because what happens is, as you're tightening the bolts, let's say you tighten this one right here, then you go and you tighten these 2 around it. It is going to compress the gasket further, pull the pan closer to the block, and now this first bolt that you just tightened is now loose. So make multiple passes. I use blue Loctite. You don't have to, but it's a good idea. The other thing that I want to touch on is going to be the actual install and the engine mounts. The stock pan drops right out of these things without touching the engine mounts. It just drops straight down and out. This one, because of that deep sump, you are not able to get it in without raising the engine. It's going to hit the subframe here, and it's going to hit the subframe right here. So what you're going to have to do is, it's not hard. You take this nut off and this nut off. These are your engine mounts. And the tricky part about this, from what I've gathered, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. Some people's cars do it, others don't. You're going to take the jack after you disconnect the engine mounts and put it right here under the bell housing. Yes, I know my bell housing is leaking. I've got to get it to the dealer while it's still under warranty and have them replace the converter seal. But you're going to put it right under the bell housing and start lifting the engine up. You do not have to touch the transmission mount. There is enough movement. If you've got the stock mount, there is enough movement in it. I took mine out just now and filled it with urethane. I'm waiting for it to dry. But if you have the stock mount, there is enough movement in it. You do not have to touch the mount. But what happens on some cars is, I'm not sure if it's the actual mounts getting stuck to the subframe or if they have some sort of like tabs that kind of lock into the subframe. But I started raising it with the jack and the engine did not budge. It was acting like I didn't even take the nuts out. The whole car started lifting up. It's not like this car over here where I start jacking the engine up and the car does not move 1 single inch until that transmission hits the tunnel. This one, it just started raising the whole car. So what I had to do, you will notice that the studs on the engine mounts protrude about maybe 3/8 of an inch down past the subframe. I took a steel plate, this actual steel plate right here, put it right up against, this was the main offender right here. Put it right up against the end of that stud and hit it with the jack. And once they broke loose, engine started lifting up. The car will still raise up some. You just have to keep at it. And what you're shooting for is give or take about 2 inches of clearance on these mounts. Once you see those mounts hit about 2 inches of clearance, once they get about 2 inches off of the subframe, you will have enough room to take this pan. It would be at a 90-degree angle from this. You put it in, kind of work it around the oil pickup, and then rotate it 90 degrees. And once it is in place, you can let it drop down and hang while you get your RTV situated. Then start threading in the bolts, and the rest is, you know how the rest goes. But I'm really excited to get out, get some data on this pan. Oh, by the way, once you, when you jack the engine up, like I said, the car will still raise up some. It raises up a couple inches, 2 to 3 inches. Just for some good measure, put some jack stands under the subframe here in case something goes wrong and it all collapses. It won't crush you or anything crazy if you've already got the vehicle lifted, but you could have a hand somewhere it's not supposed to be, and then that 2 or 3 inches is enough to get a trip to the hospital. So make sure everything's properly supported. But yeah, I'm really excited to get out and get some data on this thing, see what that oil pressure is looking like on launch, and seeing what it looks like through the first couple of gears of a pull. The last elephant in the room I'm going to address is price. Yes, the pan is $600. Guys, it's real simple. It's either buy it or don't. You got to remember, Brett makes these himself. It's a small family-run business type deal. It is not mass-produced by a large corporation, so he makes these by hand. And you also have to weigh $600 against the cost of a new engine if you spin a bearing. So that's the last thing to think about, but really excited to get out and see how this does. Take care out there and happy racing.